Alrighty, hello Cancer. Welcome to Karma on Deck. I'm Karma. I'm going to do your reading for the week of February 27th through March 3rd. I can't believe it's already March, moving into 3 months into this 2020 already. I'm kind of blown away by that. Welcome to Mercury retrograde. When I'm done with the Cancer video, I'm going to come on and do a live and talk about how this has been feeling the last few days and what Mercury's been playing with as far as that goes. So let's take a look and see what's going on for Cancer. Tower card. So you guys have got the first one that's shaken up a little bit. So here's what's interesting about Cancer. Cancer's sitting on the fence about a lot of things. You've got the Two of Swords, which is indecision. I was just talking, so Gemini, you guys have some readings that blend, and I used to have a really hard time with doing readings and feeling similar energy between different zodiac signs, but here's what's true. A lot of stuff does play on the cusp, and a lot of stuff, they do blend from one into the other. However, Gemini is not playing with this energy as much as you are. Gemini is starting to feel a little indecisive, but you guys absolutely are indecisive. This is the Two of Swords sitting on the fence, Six of one, half dozen of the other, unsure on how you want to proceed, talking yourself into things and out of it. You're often feeling a little fatalistic about your choices because as you're looking at them, you're saying, well, if I do this thing, I'm going to lose out on that thing. If I stay with this thing, I'm going to lose out on that one. And so you're balancing your choices out based on, what the outcome is going to look like. And you're coming, see, there it is, Two of Wands and the Two of Swords. So Gemini was 10, Taurus was 7. So let's see how many twos you guys get. So Two of Swords and the Two of Wands. Two of Wands feeling like two different mindsets. Angel on one shoulder, devil on the other. Two of Swords, indecision, where you're having that inability to make a decision. One thing I say almost every time I see that card in a general spread, it's not to... Jameson, can I help you? Hey. Snoring ass dog in the background. But like I said, the Two of Swords is some options, some decisions, some paths have like an expiration date. The timing is perfect. And when you come from a place of indecision, you sometimes lose that opportunity and the dynamics change a little bit. So you're kind of forced to make one decision over another just based on inactivity, just based on indecision and being stuck. We do have the Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands is you go, not literally just knowing that you have to choose, but just going back and forth so much that you're kind of looking at it as, I can't make a decision, okay? You do have the World card suited Gemini, Eight of Wands. You're concerned about your money, but not so much as you are about your decisions. You have the Five of Swords, okay? And here's what's true. Five of Swords is conflict. Five of Swords is setting boundaries. I always say this card represents making... So if you look at a card as a negative or a positive, this card sometimes looks like conflict is negative, but here's what's true. It's not. It's a boundary. It's a limit. It's speaking to what you're willing to put up with, what you want to see happen, and making sure people don't cross into those just for your own mental well-being. I do see the Knight of Swords, and that is like, you might be impulsive on decision making because you're so frustrated with feeling stuck. The Eight of Coins, definitely feeling a little tired. You also are not only emotionally impacted, you're feeling a little emotional, almost as if you're hormonal. Then we have the Knight of Swords, which is like snappy decision making. So be careful with Mercury retrograde. I was just talking to Gemini, and somebody said they lost someone close to them because of this energy where they were feeling snappy. So I also see that Cancer is doing a little bit of the, hey, wake up. A little bit of hiding out, doing some, staying close to friends and family and not wanting to be very social, and that's okay. You are definitely so there is another 3. So that was 2. It's Three of Wands. I was looking for that too hard, but I bet you it shows up in the other one. Anyways, Three of Wands is making you feel as if there's a little pressure on your back, feeling as if you're being watched, feeling as if you're being criticized. You do have the Star card, which is balance. You're looking to find balance. If you notice, there's a scale here. The balance with the Star card is all about paying attention to the spiritual side of things, having work-life balance, having a spiritual 3D and 5D balance so that you're not too much into one world or the other. And this is striking that balance. It's also noticing how the cosmos are playing a role in your life and turning your intuition into your spiritual side and paying attention to that as well. I am concerned that you feel a life change is on the verge of happening to you. You have the Tower card and the Death card. You almost feel as if these decisions are a life and death decision and that they make a huge impact on the outcome of your life. And you're worried that these decisions will ripple out and affect all the other aspects. And you really like things being level right now, balance being key for you. You definitely don't want to go too far on that pendulum one way or the other. So on that note, there is some travel that might be coming up for you that you quite possibly would be frustrated about because you have the Chariot card. The Death card is showing up for you, and the Death card plays with big change. This is something you can't stop. It's not something you can direct or control, but it's definitely a big change. Now, don't be tripped out that the Death card comes up. It's my favorite card in the deck. Everybody thinks they want the Lover's card. That's not it. The Death card is all about change. Think of it as a baptism. Think of it as a renewal. Think of it as closing a chapter or starting a new chapter. It doesn't have to be fatalistic here, but that's your mindset. Cancer feels like everything's going to fall apart before they make a decision right now. Don't let it get that far, because then you're going to find yourself not only emotionally unbalanced, but you're going to make snap decisions. So be cautious of those, because you're getting frustrated with stagnancy. Dumb dog is snoring like an old man. So embarrassing, but I don't have the heart to kick him out. Oh, fatty. Where you at? Right behind my desk, underneath the microphone. Snoring old man. For those of you that follow Jameson Chronicles of Doggo to a Psychic, pictures of him in the bathtub with the baby yesterday. All right, let's take a look and see. This is your Cancer moon from Mystic Dreamer. My Dragon Tarot is my Cancer Sun and Rising. I've been calling this my moon reading because it's not all about relationships. It's about how we feel and how we think, right? All right, Ten of Pentacles, legacy. Cancer wants to make a difference. That's what the Ten of Pentacles is all about. Seven of Swords. Gemini was doing the same shit, and so was Taurus, which is going the sideways and looking for shortcuts when it comes to relationship. Cancer's doing the repetition, redundancy, and seeing if I just do it the same way, eventually it'll turn out fine. Repetition, redundancy, see if it'll work out. But the problem with Cancer right now is that you have the Lover's card showing up, which is you being, everything's a power struggle with Cancer. Everything is passive aggressive, a little power struggle, a little dynamic right there. I see you watching and waiting. I think you're playing with your people like a little cat and mouse. You want to see what they're going to do. That's not a bad thing, not a good thing. Just notice if you are actually just, poking people around, saying things to see what they're going to do. You're very dissatisfied with things and you want to pick a fight. You got the Five of Wands. You've also got the Four of Swords. You're not speaking to your honesty. Four of Swords is hiding out. I call that one my ghost card. Either you're ghosting someone else or you're concerned about others ghosting you. And I think it's high time for Cancer to take a look inward on this one, because the Four of Swords, you got Three of Wands, which is watching and waiting, and you got the Four of Swords, which is isolation. Four of Cups, which is things aren't exactly how you want them to be, and the Five of Wands, which is agitation. If you look here, and this is somebody antagonizing a situation, the Hermit card is all about evidence. So like I was saying, before the cards even come out, my impression was that you're definitely looking at the evidence and playing with, what are you doing? What are you up to? Are you giving what I need? Are you doing what you say you're going to do? So it may not be a bad thing to want to analyze, evaluate, and, all of your different kinds of situations. It's not bad for you to pull evidence and look. However, how are you being perceived? Is it are you being too critical? Don't watch too much so that people feel like they're on the spot, because I know you don't like that. But here's the thing. Cancer is feeling like it's high time they get their reward, because you have the Empress card. And the Empress card is that pregnancy. It's due. And you're waiting to see how things are going to play out. And that's okay. You're like, okay, this shit show is happening. I want to see how it plays out. Or you might say, this is all looking too good to be true. Let me see how it plays out. So you're sitting back, you're watching and rating. So Nordless, how you doing? I don't know how to pronounce that with a zero there, but Nordless, how are you feeling? Are you Cancer? So I'm feeling as if, you're antagonizing your people to see what's going to happen. And then you have the Hermit card, which is pulling evidence so that you have an opportunity to look and see and what is going on with your people. And you're pulling evidence and watching your, I just got a kiss from my son. His support, letting me know I'm doing a good job. Anyways, Five of Pentacles here is I would be concerned for Cancer's mood right now, because Five of Pentacles is all about you having a little hopelessness, like you're frustrated with your people. It's high time for things to start shifting. You definitely want them to shift their energy and be what they say they're going to be. And so you're just kind of playing with the demographics and dynamics and seeing if people are responding like they're supposed to. So don't be too hard on your people, because in turn you got to look at how you're treating other people is how your internal voice is treating yourself. So you have the Five of Pentacles. You're starting to lose a little hope, and that's a little bit like that scarcity energy. You're clutching a little too hard, right? So anyways, don't isolate yourself too much if that's what you're doing. And don't poke at people too much if they're isolating. In either case, it's not going to be great as a long-term habit. So you have the Four of Swords, and you have, a little bit of isolation, and that you're waiting for that perfect moment, like Snow White. Because if you notice here, she's got 3 swords down, and 3 swords down and 1 sword up. So she's sleeping so that you have you have to have that perfect moment so you can respond. So I feel like you're kind of waiting to see how people are going to show up. Anyway, let's pull a card for you from Divination of the Ancients. Take a look and see what's going on for you with that, and see if it adds to your reading. I got a little distracted there. I apologize. I'm Karma on deck. If you want to book a reading with me.com, I am going to put that in there so you can book it. Do have some time today if you wanted to jump on there. And do so. Let's pull a card for you from Divination of the Ancients and see where you're at. Confirmation shows Shooting Star. So this card, Shooting Star, is all about confirmation. You're looking for signs, symbols, and that goes back to almost exactly what we were talking about, where I said you're looking for evidence. Don't be too quick to dismiss synchronicities. Don't be too hard on people when it comes to your evidence. You're definitely looking for confirmation. So the Shooting Star, let's look it up and see if I'm right on with that one. So confirmation. So what it's saying here, the universe is poised to respond to your wishes. And this card is turned up to confirm that it is so. So you're kind of feeling as if things are lining up how they want to, how you want them to. So you are looking for that evidence. And like I said, don't be so hard on your people. Take a deep breath and get yourself through Mercury retrograde before you make any of those snap decisions that I'm seeing. Thank you for hanging out with me. Like, subscribe, and share. Tell me where you are in the world. Let me know how you feel your reading went. Catch me on the flip side. I'm about to sign off here on Cancer, and then I'm going to open a live so we can play with some question and answers. So you get your questions ready, and see you in 5. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you next time.